The Lonely Diaries is live with activities. I'm the Lonely Diaries, guys. Thank you for anybody that jumps on here. I appreciate it. We're gonna go back to reading Creepers. Creepers. We were done with the first 3 chapters. Now we're gonna move on to chapter 4, I believe. Chapter 4. Gotta know more. Alright, guys. I'm also watching a movie, a classic from the 90s, guys. Let me know if you want to know what movie that is. Alright. How we doing? Let's start. At this point, family with a barn. The son is sent to the barn to pick something up. He finds a guy there, a disturbed guy. Doesn't remember much. He's missing his tongue. This book is the Scarecrow. He's scared of the Scarecrow. All right. So yeah, guys, let's start. David is our main guy. David stared out the window. He couldn't take his eyes off the Scarecrow looming out there. The Scarecrow stood in an uncultivated field next to the house. It was a field that his father still hadn't had time to work on. It had always seemed strange to David that the only Scarecrow on the farm stood in that field that didn't need one. His dad had continually said that he was going to move it, but like many other jobs on the farm, it just hadn't been done. Insidious is coming out, guys. Insidious. I kind of want to do a reaction to that. Trailer looked all right. Whoa. My bad, guys. My bad, guys. I'm here. How you doing? I'm the Lonely Diaries, and I'm reading a book called The Scarecrow. David was confused, and he was becoming a little scared. As he stared at the figure in the field, he began to think of his old dog. He had been satisfied with his dad's version of the dog's disappearance. After all, the old dog had been constantly chasing foxes and getting stuck in the foxholes was a regular demise for Obercelis. I don't know how to say that word, man. That Obercelis hounds. However, he had never mentioned to anyone, especially his dad, the other version that he had been suggested for the dog's absence. Yeah, man. I like anime, man. Don't clown me, bro. Might as well sub up. Let me see. We're talking about the dog's disappearance. Rosa, how you doing? How you doing where you're from? I'm reading a book here. It's called The Creeper. If I donate 100, you're not donating 100. Listen, 2 days after the dog had gone missing, David had been standing on the road outside of the farm, waiting for the school bus. He was upset. His dog had never disappeared before. His dad had told him that he would probably never see his old friend again. His sisters, as usual, were late and hadn't come out yet. An old man had appeared suddenly at his side, the smell of alcohol announcing his arrival as much as anything. Man, I'm watching this movie and it's getting cool. It's getting crazy. Let me know if you want to know what movie I'm watching. Thanks for that like, whoever that was. Was that you, Rosa? Anyways. An old man had appeared suddenly at his side, the smell of alcohol announcing his arrival as much as anything. He had been sleeping under a nearby hedge. Old Jonesy, that's the old man, was a well-known local celebrity. He was a down-and-out drunk, rarely sober enough to recognize whether it was night or day. However, He could often bring a smile to your face with his quick wit and his many stories. This is a good book, guys. If you got a Dollar Tree nearby, you can go buy it. All right. That's kind of where I got the anime posters too. They got posters out there. Let me know if you guys like Dollar Tree or Family Dollar more. Ha! Young Davy, how are you? What's wrong? Why so gloom? Jonesy had asked, noticing the boy's concerned face. We haven't seen Sandy, our dog, since yesterday evening. He's disappeared, Davy had replied. Jonesy's grin left his face and was replaced with a deep frown. Oh my goodness, 17 people. Shout out to y'all. Well, son, you'll never see him again. He's gone for sure. Gone forever. Talking about the dog, the old man mumbled. Gone? What do you mean? David had pressed, a little agitated. What's going on, Jocelyn? Let me know your favorite book. Does anybody? I'm sure you guys read. What's your favorite book, guys? I'm watching Cape Fear. You guys know that? Man, there's a lot of people here. I love that. I love that. A lot of comments, guys. That's what's up. I'm reading to y'all. I'm reading to wind down the day. The old man put his arm around David. The smell of stale alcohol was overpowering. The only way I could do that if you had done a lot more work and then think you would have a job, then you would have done. I could have had a lot more money for the job, that I would be happy. Is that a riddle? He continued. He ran off. I saw him with my own eyes, chased off by that wooden thing. That scarecrow. Guys, and we're talking about the scarecrow. The scarecrow is the one doing all this random stuff, all this weird stuff to this family. Oh, wow, look, there's a shot of the nice little drawing of the scarecrow chasing the dog away. That's kind of sick. That's kind of sick. Poor dog. I don't know why he just didn't bite him. Who has a dog in here? I have a cat. I'm more of a cat person. The old man jerked his head in the direction of the farm and continued. That thing chased him all the way over the fields. The animal was howling like a banshee. Nope, you won't see him again. Thanks for that comment, Jorge. Even though I don't know what you meant. David had laughed at that time. The thought of the scarecrow running across his dad's fields chasing after his old dog was a sort of crazy story old Jonesy was famous for. But as David recalled the encounter with the old man now, he was not laughing. In fact, he was beginning to feel more and more scared. Morrison, the guy that they found in the barn in the previous chapters, that's also a victim of the scarecrow. The scarecrow cut his tongue off. Morrison's note had talked about a wooden monster. A scarecrow. Was it a coincidence? Just nonsense spoken by two madmen? He couldn't tell his dad about old Jonesy's story. He would just laugh at him. But now, after reading Morrison's note, it was all becoming a little weird. David decided he had to find old Jonesy again. He had to talk to him about what the old man had seen that night. He was headed out the door. As he was headed out the door, David glanced out. Hi, how you doing? The window and peered at the wooden shape in the field and shook his head. You want me to say that? Come on, man. Come on. When are you kids gonna stop with that? You think that's ever going away, or are people just gonna hold on to that for years? He then ran out to the shed besides the house, pulled out his bike, and rode off as fast as 20 minutes or so to ride into town. But this time, the journey seemed less likely, like, what does it say? Seemed like less than half of that. Jonesy had a number of usual hangouts, in town during the day. He would normally be trying to make some money or be spending money on his staple diet of cheap wine. It didn't take David long to catch sight of him. He was propped up at the corner of one of the town's two bars, held upright by a combination of the side of the building and a large overflowing trash can. Nathan, everybody sub up, guys. Don't just leave, guys. Sub up if you want. Check out my content. David quickly rode over and shouted to the old man. The old man didn't respond. David climbed off his bike and walked slowly to the corner of the bar. Still, the old man's head was down and slumped on his chest. Jonesy, it's me. Davy, I have to talk to you, David said, approaching the old man. Jonesy, are you okay? It's me, Davy, he added, becoming a little more agitated by the old man's lack of response. What a nice little live. You guys kept me company. Finally, the old man had raised his head. David was instantly shocked. Jonesy looked into his eyes. David immediately recognized the look in the old man's eyes. It was the same frightened stare that he had seen on Morrison's face in the barn. David hesitated, almost too scared to speak. Scared. Jonesy, what happened? Are you okay? David asked, taking the old man's arm. The old man started to shake his head, and David spotted tears welling up in his eyes. Man, the scarecrow got them crying. The old man started to open his mouth. David spotted, for the first time, the dried blood clinging to the old man's beard. As he opened his mouth wider, David gasped and staggered back. Just like Morrison, Jonesy's tongue was gone. The scarecrow has a thing for cutting their tongues off. It's just messed up, man. It's just messed up. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for Creepers. One more chapter, I believe. There's a lot of. It's nice. It's a good read, guys. This is a pretty nice read. I'm not that big on books, especially if they get boring quick. But this has suspense, like it says here. So make sure you get a copy for yourselves at the Dollar Tree nearest you. I'm Thelonelydiaries. Thank you for this live. I'm also on Facebook and TikTok, and I upload long form content. I upload shorts, guys. I go live. I'm gonna try to go live. We all know what the news that YouTube has, that is gonna be harder to monetize next year. So for the rest of the year and into the beginning of next year, I'm gonna be going super hard. So make sure you subscribe if you like this kind of content.